Good morning, everybody. Fall is upon us. So as you guys seen in the toilet install, there's not any room. I wasn't originally planning on putting such a large shower in there, but I love the large shower. So that took up some room and gave me an extremely small amount of room for the toilet. So I got looking at the kitchen area where the sink and the stove is, and the sink is way too big. That's more than enough sink. I don't need that big of a sink at all. And I really don't need the countertop because I'm going to buy this wooden thing that will fit over the stove or over the sink. So if I need extra counter space, like if I need to put a cutting board down to cut up some vegetables, prepare dinner, whatever, I can just put that up. So I took the sink out of that old camper, and it needs a good cleaning, but this is big enough and small enough in the same sense that it'll work perfect. So that's going to be the new sink. And I also had this old shelf thing down in my basement, but as you can see, it's kind of gross. So I'm going to sand it all down, flip it over, sand it again, and then I'm going to stain it. And then I will, in order to fit the in order to fit the oven and the sink, I will need to add a little bit of this to the bottom board. So I'm going to do both those, connect them together, and then take and stain them. And then a really awesome company reached out to me, Boat Supplies. I'll put their link and everything in the description. And they actually sent me some epoxy and this cool little stirring thing and something I'll get to in another video, but some RV toilet paper. So I'm going to stain this the same color, this gun stock, the same color as the table, and then I'm going to put some quarter round on it and then pour the epoxy in and let it dry. So first thing we got to do is I'm going to take a couple of these screws out, and I'm going to sand this, and then we'll put it on the table behind me, flip it over, sand it again, and then we'll get that part stained, and then we'll do the same to the other side. So bear with me. A very good friend of mine was kind enough to lend me his Milwaukee palm sander, and he also threw in some different grades of sandpaper. There's 150, there's 60, and 100, and I don't know what that one is. So, oh, that's a 220. So I'm going to, because this will be the bottom, I'm just going to throw in a 60, I think, just to get some of the gross off of it. Make short work of that. So I do want to put some stain on this too, just to so it doesn't, I don't know, get water on it and mold or anything. Now this is just going to be a light stain. I don't really need a whole lot on here, just to kind of protect it. And I did put gloves on this time. I will not be putting epoxy on this side, but I do just want to get a little bit of this stain on here. how this stain turns out once it's dry and got the epoxy on it. It is gorgeous. Rooster. Okay, there we go. That's all we're gonna do for that. Okay, this side's a lot better looking, but there is some stuff on here, so I want to sand it down with the 60, and then I'll probably hit it with like 220 or something like that, just to get it super smooth. I'm gonna do it with a 150. I thought I had 220 in there for some reason, but we're gonna hit it with 150, get it really smooth, and then stain it again. Okay, that is nice and smooth. So I want to put 2 coats on this time, just to really give it that color. So I'll put the first one on, I'll let it dry for a few, and I'll put the second coat on. All right, go ahead and throw on the second coat. It's just going to be kind of a thin coat, and then we're going to wipe it down with a moist rag. Bunch of crows. Okay. There's that. Don't want to throw that in there. And here's our moist rag. Oh yeah, it's really bringing out the colors. Oops. I'm gonna wipe this all in one direction. Okay, so we're gonna set this to the side and let it dry, and we're gonna work on the other one. Okay, so I need to cut 10 inches from here. 10. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna hold this thing together. Gotta make sure it's square-ish on the front part. What's up, turkey? Okay, good news. Hi, turkey. All right, so anyways, good news is perfect fit. It actually, I have room to spare to put the spigot, because it's not going to be in the sink, it's going to be behind it. Okay, I'm gonna save this piece. I might use it for something down the road. And now I just gotta stain around the edge all the way and let this dry. Okay, so that part's pretty much done. I do gotta, you know, do measurements and cuts and all that to fit the sink in and the stove or oven, whatever you want to call it, all that stuff. But now the super fun part starts. I've got to go disconnect all the water lines and take everything out. I'm going to have to redo some of the plumbing. And I will also have to take and the water heater should be fine, but I actually got a new water heater that I want to test to make sure it works. It's in a lot better shape than the other one. So I might actually just completely take the old one out and put the new one in. But regardless, I'm gonna have to redo the plumbing and water lines, so it's gonna be a chore. Okay, so now we gotta start all the fun stuff, and that is taking the sink out. And then the stove. I'll save these two. I'll save all these screws that I can. All this wire ran everywhere and in the way. Okay, so got the sink out. I might reuse this faucet. I haven't decided yet. I really like the one that I've got in my house, so I might buy another one of those, but we'll figure it out here in a minute. So I'm gonna have to rerun all these water lines and everything, which I've got the stuff to do, and I will be installing a different water heater. So yeah, I'm gonna have to redo the plumbing, and same with the drain for the sink and everything. Okay, I got the stove removed, or oven, whatever you want to call it. And take all these out. That should be all those. Yep. Cool. So basically, this is going to be how the new countertop's going to go. I do have to do some fine-tuning, etc. And I mean, trim this down. I might even just take all that out of there, to be honest with you. Haven't decided how I'm going to do that part yet. But the oven will go right in here, and the sink will go right in here. And then, other than the water heater is going to be right there. I could move it over, but I don't really want to put another big hole in the side of the bus, since I've already got that big hole in the side of the bus. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take and cut this all down and rebuild the frame. I still have to put the quarter round on that and pour the epoxy on it, but I can at least get all this stuff done, get the plumbing done and all that. Okay, so I got this quarter round. I'm going to come up just a little bit. Just enough to, there we go, that should be plenty right there. So I'm going to get a couple of screws, or nails in here rather, and pound that down tight and flush all the way around it. So, with you in a second. There we go. Okay, so here is the epoxy resin from Better Boat, and I will put a link to the description. They have all kinds of cool stuff for boats and some stuff for RVs. That's why I actually ended up getting this. I don't think I'll need this much, which is good because I also plan on building a table for the outside of the bus. But they also sent me this thing, which is a little bit tore up because I used it to mix concrete, but so technically yes, you can mix concrete with that, and paint and epoxy. And I've got this old pitcher that I don't use anymore, so it's going to go in there. Now you got to measure equal parts. That's the key. Okay, so start pouring this on. It's supposed to dry clear, and you can see the bubbles are actually already starting to vanish. Hopefully these air bubbles work their way out. If they don't, it's no real big deal because most of this is going to be taken up by sink and the stove. But so I gotta let this set and dry for it's, I don't know, I think like 24 hours or something like that. I just mixed it wrong, I think is what happened. That mixer is great, but you got to put it all the way down then mix. And I kind of, yeah, it happens. So we're gonna let this dry, but I am gonna cover it up because it's that time of year where the annoying bugs like to come out and ruin my stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good right there. So I think I'll sit something. Oh, hey, here's something heavy. Set that on top. And that should keep the bugs out of there, and then we'll get to installing it. All right. Good morning, everybody. As you can hear, the bus is running. It got cold last night, and I must have left a light on or something, and it's slowly been draining the batteries in the bus because the batteries aren't that old. So I had to actually drive my Jeep around the yard to hook up a set of jumper cables to get it going, which wasn't that low. I literally had the jumper cables on long enough for me to go into the bus and turn the key, and it fired right up. So I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. So there's going to be some noise. Okay, so I got this piece of steel from work, and what I want to do with this is where I installed the original water heater before I got this new one. I didn't measure properly. I cut way too low and it just looked like crap. So I'm going to take this piece of steel. I got the measurements. I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to measure where the water heater needs to go, and then I'm going to fasten this to the bus, paint over it, and install the water heater properly so it looks nice. So let's see here. That's right about 17 inches right there, really. So it's 17 inches wide by 23 inches long. So let's take and do this. It should be because this is kind of an odd shaped piece of steel. This measurement, no, let's go right here, the narrowest part. Okay, there's my first straight line. it should be straight anyways, but we'll measure it, make sure. Okay, so this should be 17 inches. We'll go off that straight line there. I got a mark right here at 17. That's the part I messed up on. Okay, so there's 17 right there. Actually go a little bit up. All right, so that will give us what we need. So from here to here, 17. From there, there's 23, 23, and 17. So now, once I get my safety glasses on, I gotta take my grinder and cut along these lines, which this one won't be too bad. That, then we'll have that, then we can get the water heater, measure everything, go from there. Oh, works better if you plug them in. Weirdest thing. Well, as you can see, I accidentally filmed that in hyperlapse. Oops, rookie. But there you go. I got it done. It's all painted. I got a little bit of touch up to do, and then I got to plumb it all in, and we'll get the rest of everything else done. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. I think I'm gonna have to trim this down. definitely. Okay. Look at that. Perfect. That's awesome. All right. So now, oops. I need to connect all this together. Which won't be too hard. Do the bottom first. Holy smokes. That works good. Wow, that is crazy. Okay, let's see how this fits. Ooh, like a dream. That is perfect. Okay, then this. That's going to be where the faucet goes, so I can actually do. Quite center. There we go. This drill bit is a beast. Okay. So we're going to pull this back out and clean this off. I have wood chips for days. How did I do that? Oh, there it is. Okay, and yeah. Okay, that'll sit like that. And I gotta put the little sprayer deal in, figure out where I want that at. Okay, so now I have to install the stove, so I'm gonna grab it, set it up here, draw a line around it, cut it out. I have the silliest song stuck in my head right now. Okay, so, oops. Probably about right there. Okay. Thing is a beast. Okay, so just tightening up the gas line, and then I gotta connect it to the water heater, and I'm gonna vacuum this out. There's stuff in there, and I gotta put one more support up, but I'm gonna do that here after I test everything. I still gotta bolt the sink too. Okay, there's that. Okay, so got hot water now, which is good because this needs a scrubbing. And I've got cold water. And this actually pulls out a lot better, which would be nice in case I got to fill pots and pans, whatever. Stove works too, and the oven and all that. And this little thing, which I want to replace eventually. One last thing I want to do though is, like, this is really close to the couch, and I don't want somebody getting splashed. So, if I can, there we go. I think this is gonna go something like this. Okay, so there we go. Got this right here. I gotta try to get that scuff out of there. But this will help protect stuff from falling on people sitting over there. If you put a pot and pan there and stuff. And then you got your little backsplash thing. Then we got hot water. And it's working fantastic. It's actually really hot. Holy crap. So I got to finish doing the plumbing on it. There's that little board thing I was talking about. I got to finish the backsplash. I want to encase the water heater. I do have to make some modifications to the water lines to get them a little bit tighter. And then I'm going to actually kick that on a little bit of an angle. And there will be a wall from there to there we go. There's going to be a wall there, but I just want on just a smidge of an angle, and that'll give you all kinds of room and everything like that. Then on top of the water heater, I'm going to build like a basket for storing toilet paper and stuff. All that stuff. Right there, that red line, that is going to eventually be a bidet. And then I've got to seal that off the rest of the way behind there. And maybe put an exhaust fan in. But, yeah, so here's the new kitchen redesign. I do need to figure out how I'm going to do cabinets and stuff. I could put a full-size drawer, or door rather, here, so I can store canned goods and what have you underneath there. Don't mind the mess either. Been spilling water all day. And underneath I could put like a half cupboard door, store pots and pans. And then I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put any kind of cabinets or anything. I might put something to hang like spatulas and everything. Haven't quite decided yet. But I do got to silicone the sink down yet and get the, there we go, get the rest of the plumbing done, because right now it is just that. So yeah, still a little bit of work to do, but next weekend I'll get the bathroom all put together, and then we'll probably start building my wall for my bedroom, and then get the rest of the electrical done and finish the plumbing, and we're going to be done just in time for our maiden voyage to Michigan. So catch you guys next time. Bye. This is Ryan with Ryan Outdoors. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell, thumbs up button. That really helps me. And same with other YouTubers. So talk to you guys later. Bye.